Okay.
Hey,
Springtime.
it's springtime. It's heating up out there.
Oh, yeah.
I can feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally,
Yeah.
this week, we have council meeting.
Everybody's back in action.
Legislative council. But
Yeah.
looking for the week before?
For the week that we just had,
Yeah.
I want to talk about what people are thinking.
All right.
All right, deep thoughts.
Read minds.
Yeah, yeah.
等一陣係咪斬咗啊？
我轉咗喎，
定係轉
我啱啱轉一次。
？OK，
我
再嚟多次啦。係啊我都話我坐呢度咧就會有呢啲問題。Spring
Is sprung.
Is sprung.
Yeah, it's getting hot out there.
Oh yeah, and
Things are
humid.
definitely heating up. Hot and humid.
Hot and humid.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
we have legislative council meeting
Oh,
this Wednesday.
Legislative Council on Wednesday. The panels, the committees, they're all back in full force. Today there are 7 meetings in LegCo.
Okay,
You know,
let's
which
look
that's
at the
a busy
week
day.
before.
But before we get to that, we'll talk
Do
to
we
the week
still
before.
need to talk about the week before?
Yeah, there was a lot because there were still people out of town here and there.
Uh-huh.
But last week was all about what people are thinking. Everybody's talking about trying to
Hear.
Yeah, you know what's in people's heads.
So you read minds?
Wow, I'm not reading minds, but people are trying to say, how can we read minds?
Okay.
Some people are saying, how can we put ideas in the minds?
Oh, that's
Right?
Inception.
Yeah, like that movie Inception. Yeah, I just watched that a little while ago.
Yeah.
So this is what people are thinking about. So what are they thinking about? Number one, you know, the pro-Beijing forces are saying, hey, Pandems, why don't you guys get with the program? We've had a couple of surveys that tell us that people really want to package this 831 deal. Why don't you guys just get with just do what the people want? And of course the Pandems are saying, well, why don't we ask the people what they want and have a referendum? But of course, that ain't going to happen. But it's a smart move for the Pandems to suggest it, right? Because you got to figure that, you know, if a referendum happened, even if they lost it, they would establish a precedent. But of course, the pro-establishment guys know that, so they're not going to go there.
No. They're not going to participate at all.
No.
No.
So but they're not going to be allowed to have one. But I mean, but by putting the idea out there, you know, it gives them a chance to kind of stay on message that you should be asking the people directly.
You know what? I have a new theory.
What's that?
I'm not reading minds here, but I have a new theory.
Okay.
The essence of solutions journalism is scenario planning.
Okay.
And scenario building.
All right.
I think the pandemic,
Yeah.
they all know that if they vote down
Yeah.
the constitutional reform package,
Right.
they will lose a lot of votes
In the next election.
in the next election.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
we always forgot,
Yeah.
or a lot of people always forgot,
Yeah.
that pandemic is not one political party.
Right. Right.
So if you are saying let's say the Republicans or the Democrats in
Yeah.
the States,
Yeah.
or the Labour or the Conservatives in the UK,
Sure.
or the PC and the Liberals
Sure.
in Canada,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
okay, throughout the country they have parties representative, right?
Right, right.
So if the party as a whole vote down something,
Yeah.
the whole party suffers,
Right.
and they will lose seats,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
But for the pandemics, there are actually a lot of small political parties,
Groups
right?
within. Yeah.
With the PR system,
Yeah.
proportional representation voting system.
Yeah.
Even if they lose a lot of seats,
It doesn't
they
matter.
will still get in.
They'll
As
still-
long
yeah.
as they can get around 8 to 12%.
They got to hold their base. They got to hold the core.
For example,
Yeah.
Emily Lau.
Sure.
She used to be really high up in terms of voting.
Yeah.
She lost a lot of votes throughout these years. She still got in.
Sure.
She still got in every time.
Yeah.
So if they remain, the pandemic will remain as small political interest groups.
Yeah.
Then as long as they got, let's say, 8% of the votes, they can still get in as the 5th,
Yeah.
or the 6th, or even the 7th.
Right.
So they don't have motivation.
Yeah, they don't have motivation to cooperate. And
Exactly.
They actually have motivation to compete because they're actually competing with each other, not the opposition.
Now that
Right,
they
for
are only
seats.
now that with
Right.
the proportional representation, so they only needs to make sure they have enough seats to get in.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't need a high votes.
Sure.
It's typical.
Yeah.
Just get the passing grade behavior.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting math to find out how often voters switch from the pro-establishment to the pro-Democrat camp, because I think more likely they switch from within their camps.
Exactly.
So they end up just trying to compete with each other and steal votes from each other,
Exactly.
which,
So
it
even
doesn't
if
help them.
even if they lose a lot of votes, or even if a lot of people just give up on the pandemic,
Yeah.
they can still get in
Yeah.
because they are just competing internally.
Well, and that may be very true for the pro-establishment side as well. Right? Because again, if people aren't going to flip over to this side, they're just going to compete for votes internally. If they become more business-like, people think, maybe I'm going to vote for the BPA instead of the DAB, and so it could happen on
So with
both
the
sides.
proportional representation system,
Yeah.
you don't really see any motivation factors.
Not for party discipline, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Not for party discipline.
Not for Democrats to switch from saying no to say yes.
Right.
I mean, that's my take on this one. So
So it's going to be very hard for the Pandems to be able to get progress in this area. But again, as a whole, I think they still want to say, any opportunity they have to say let the people have a choice, they'll go for it.
Yep.
Another thinking story from last week is all the discussion around Hong Kongers aren't thinking properly. We must re-educate them. Right? And more people from the mainland, kind of putting forth these opinions that we got to get them young. Kind of this is all like national education talk keeps trying to come in around the side, right? And talk about, teachers should go to Beijing or go to China for a month for learning before they become teachers.
That's
and we should
Fanny
start
Law.
kids. Yeah, Fanny Law's been pushing that line for a long time. And, now they're saying, we should get the children younger. So again, that's more long-term thinking, about changing the general climate of opinions in Hong Kong.
Well, I think eventually, people will realize that they have to understand more about China.
Yeah.
The point is,
Yeah.
I think the whole debate on patriotic or national education is that we are not giving people the full picture.
Yeah.
Or a lot of parents are worried that you are not giving them the full picture.
Right.
As long as you give them the full picture, the pros and the cons, the goods and the bads of mainland China, I think we are more receptive on that one. I mean, a lot of the peasants or a lot of the labor are living in very bad condition in China.
Sure.
And given that still 90% of the mainland populations are farmers, 90%.
I don't think it's that high. I think it's like 60%. What is it? 60% urban now?
The official figures is at 90%.
Okay. Well, yeah, because people move illegally to the cities and they can't get their hukou changed. So officially,
officially is 90%.
But really,
given that 90% of them are farmers and a lot of them are in very poor villages. I mean, it might not be a bad idea. For our younger generation to look at China. Because right now, when they look at China, all the relatively wealthy people around town.
Relatively, like some of them are the super wealthy, and then you've got the parallel traders, and you've got the tourists.
Parallel traders are relatively wealthy. So this is how they understand China.
Right.
But even
and family.
Yeah.
People tend to look at their family in China.
And even the Americans and the UK or the Africans are not looking at China that way.
No.
Somehow they get a fuller picture than us. I mean, it's strange. So I think the key is not only to help them expose to China, but to show them both sides of the coin. I think that's the key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you my third thing that people are thinking about, and I'm glad you're wearing green on your HKSOW. I'm glad it's a green because tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and yesterday was the first ever St. Patrick's Day parade in the history of Hong Kong. And get this, 9 out of the first 15 governors of Hong Kong were Irish. Yesterday was the first ever St. Patrick's Day parade. Hong Kong has its first ever Irish Consul General. Had just arrived in Hong Kong a few months ago, and they got hit the ground running. We had the first ever St. Patrick's Day parade. I went down.
Okay.
Was representing the Canadian club. So because Canada, of course, has tight ties with Ireland. And so, yeah, we was happy to get out there and celebrate the Irish. So people are thinking about the Irish today.
Okay, so can you imitate the Irish accent?
Top of the morning to you. If any of my Irish friends see that, they're going to crucify me. But that's as good as it gets. The top of the morning. So, so that's what people are thinking about. Short term, how they're thinking about constitutional reform. Long term, how they feel about China. And in a broader sense, thinking about our friends in Ireland.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Andrew.
That's the week that was.
Cheers.
Cheers.